What is up, everyone? I hope you're all still doing well and are coronavirus free. I can only imagine how stir crazy you must be feeling right now. And I'm hoping that you're hanging in there well. Trust me, I get it. We all hate this too. Not being able to see you guys is one of the things that really sucks about this whole thing, and it's kind of harshing my vibe. So trust me, I get it. I'm right there with you guys. Before we begin, I figured we'd handle a few questions that you sent in. Question number one is, why can't our group still meet? Well, because of the new updates to the coronavirus, we're trying to take every precaution possible to stop people from being at risk of getting sick. It's just something that we have to do right now. Question number two, why isn't last week's video on Instagram? It was, but then there was some weirdo channel from India that has an algorithm that thought that a bit of our video resembled one of theirs too much, and so it hit us with a copyright strike. And so we put it in a dispute order, but that might take a while to fix because half of the staff on Instagram is quarantined. Don't worry though, it's still on Facebook for any of you to watch, and we're doing everything to get the first video back up. Question number three, who won the drawing from last week? Well, that would be Alexandra Briniger. Congratulations, Alexandra. You've won a $5 gift card to Hot Shots, Dutch Bros, Kodiak, Starbucks, really any coffee shop that you'd like. And so, with all of that out of the way, I just wanted to put in a few new updates. One is that there will be a new drawing for this Sunday as well. Since one of you thought it would be really awesome to mutate me into some horrifying things, then I thought, why not do that with everyone? So, the idea is, if you participate in this Sunday's watch party on either YouTube or Facebook, then you can do one of two things. Tell me about what your favorite part of the lesson was, or just face morph one of us like you did last week. If you do this, you will be entered to win a $5 gift card to the coffee house of your choice, and there will be a new winner every week. This week, we're starting a new series called Not Afraid. We're going to be moving away from our usual plans for a little bit, and we're going to focus on what's happening today. And basically, unless you've been sleeping under a rock, then you know that things are definitely not Gucci right now. There's plenty of things going on right now that are absolutely, totally wrong. The coronavirus is spreading faster than ever, the stock market is plummeting, and people are panicking. Trust me, I get it. There's plenty of reason to totally freak out right now. And that's exactly what a lot of people are doing. But the question is what should we as Christians do? How does our relationship with Jesus change things? Should we just underreact maybe and believe that Jesus will keep us safe and act like nothing is happening and just be kind of weird and overly religious? Or should we go to Costco and hoard toilet paper and then hide under our beds and act like the world is ending? I think that if we look at this through a faith perspective, then suddenly everything looks very, very different. It's interesting because my wife is a nurse and she's actually one of the people responsible for screening new patients and guests to see if they test positive for the coronavirus. It's kind of weird because whenever I mention that to people, people basically give me this look. It's scary, trust me. There's lots of reasons to be afraid right now, or at least kind of worried. Schools here in the LC Valley have been pretty much canceled until the end of April. Travel bans are everywhere, and now it looks like some cities are literally closing down. It's definitely scary stuff. There are plenty of reasons to be afraid. If we follow the world's logic, we can either ignore it, or we can stockpile on rice and beans and hand sanitizer. But like I said earlier, that's not what followers of Jesus are supposed to do. I have a question for you. What is your go-to Instagram filter? I'm kind of old school. I like X Pro too. But all of us have that one filter setting that we usually go to when we want to make our pictures look better, right? Well, what if I told you that that's how Jesus is to us during times like this? What if I told you that as followers of Jesus, we actually are supposed to have a different filter to the world? We're supposed to see the world as differently than the rest of the world does. And that's what I want to talk about tonight. How to view the world through the lens of Jesus and not through the lens of fear. And that's done in three ways. One, we live by faith, not by fear. If you read through John 14:27, it says, I am leaving you with a gift, peace of mind and heart, and the peace that I give is a gift the world cannot give. So don't be troubled or afraid. John describes the peace of God as a gift during hard times. You know, the Hebrew word for gift used here is used to describe something that cannot be taken back. It's like a binding promise. In fact, I think that it actually resembles the word promise more than gift in the English language. That peace is the peace that goes beyond understanding and beyond our fears. The simple fact is that God is absolutely still 100% in control. The command goes even further in 2 Timothy 1:7. For God has not given us a spirit of fear and timidity, but of power, love, and self-discipline. God gave us a new spirit when we asked Him to become the Lord of our lives. And because of that, we have a different filter to see the world through. While the world sees panic, we can see peace. while the world is fearful, we can have faith. Number 2, we live sacrificially and not selfishly. Philippians 2:3-4 says, don't be selfish. Don't try to impress others. Be humble. Thinking of others is better than yourselves. Don't look out for only your own interests, but in the interests of others as well. Do you remember about 4 or 5 months ago when I spoke on this before? And we talked about how in the church of Acts, how the church was so new, the people who followed Jesus would sometimes lose everything they had and their families would abandon them. The culture of the world at that time was to take pride in 3 things: land, possessions, and family. These people lost all of that. And you know what the church of Acts did? They went against the culture. In Acts 2:44-46, there's a story of the Christians of the early church in Acts selling their land and their possessions in order to care more for those who lost their families. In essence, the world told them what was important, but they followed God instead. And it said that they did it with pure hearts and an attitude of joy. They didn't do it to look good. They did it because they loved each other. See, the church isn't just a building, guys. It's you. It's me. It's us. What defines a church isn't the walls or the name or even the pastors on staff, but the people who are willing to follow God's command to be not of this world. And that leads me to my 3rd point. Number 3, we live in a way that we are like a light in darkness, and we do not hide Jesus. Matthew 5:14-16 says, "You are the light of the world. A town built on a hill cannot be hidden. Neither do people light a lamp and put it under a bowl. Instead, they put it on its stand, and it gives light to everyone in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven." During this time, there are a lot of scared people. Friends, your teachers, even your parents are afraid and looking for hope. And guess what, you guys? We have it. In a time where hope is scarce, we can be the hope dealers. In a time where there is a lot of darkness around us, we can be the light. In a time when everyone is selfish and looking out for themselves, we are commanded to love selflessly. And while the coronavirus might be contagious, it is my prayer and the command from the Bible that we are even more so. See, the Bible tells us not to be afraid over 200 times. That's not a suggestion. It's not something that just makes us feel good. It's a command. It's an order from God to us. When the world screams at us to panic, and they are, we are commanded to be different. How different are you? How different are we as a church? Are we hoarding possessions like everyone and pushing away those with needs? Or are we walking into the chaos, knowing that Jesus has a purpose in it? Some of you are understandably afraid. And honestly, some of you feel like you've had your future stolen from you. You're being told that you won't have a graduation ceremony. You won't have a freshman year experience. You're being told that you won't be able to finish your high school experience with a prom, a celebration, or a birthday trip around the world. I get that. It hurts. But how are you going to react to that? The same way as the world, or like Jesus? The choice is yours. And that's what my prayer is for you guys today, is that we would say that we are going to be different. That we would stand out. Just like we said earlier, we would shine in the darkness. Be hope dealers today, my friends. Don't give in to fear like the rest of the world is. As always, I absolutely love you guys and gals. And myself and the youth team are always here for you. You are not alone. And I just want you to know, you do matter. Don't ever forget that. A mentor I had once told me, every day that you wake up, you are more important than you were the day before. Don't ever forget that. No matter how chaotic things may get, you guys still matter. Do you believe that? And just like I said earlier, the choice is yours. Have a great day, you guys.